Welcome back, guys. Figured we would do something a little bit different. I've had this thing for a while. This is a Craftsman 2-speed stick shift power reverse chain drive. They say this thing is killer. It's like, what is this thing, like a 10 horsepower? What do they say this is? Briggs and Stratton 308 horsepower. That's what I have on my little tractor. And I actually made this from 2 motors because I found this at the dump. Somebody threw it out. And they threw it out with the whatever motor was bolted to it, plus another motor that was there. And I picked them all up. I almost had a hernia trying to get this thing in the back of the truck. And I brought it home. And this motor got modified. And it actually, I think it was some of the older core. And what it got on it was I put on the electronic ignition from the other motor. And this thing runs great. So let's just check out a few things. We're going to put some gas in it. We're going to lube up a couple of things. It is a little sticky. We're going to just get it to run again. Every year it started up, but it required a little bit of effort. You know, it would start off by taking this off. And, you know, I never really did very much. I never had to. It worked really good. Once I put that motor together from the 2 parts, you know, and you can see the air cleaner's, you know, sweet. I never had to do anything there. I'd pour a little gas down on the bottom. I'd run it up. I know one complaint I had was you had to put quite a bit of gas in this thing because it's front tine, so when you were leaning forward, when it would dig itself a hole, it would lean so far forward that if you didn't have enough gas in the tank, it would end up sucking dry and it would start to stall. So you'd have to put a lot of gas in it again. There's a little crankiness on, a little bit of skum and jutes on there. Let's take our 2-stroke. Get some in here and work it in. All right. If we want, we'll do a compression test too. Let it work its way around. See what we got. 75 pounds. That's not bad for a motor this size. You know, a little bit of yuck in there. So we're going to want to maybe take this off and clean it before we start passing fuel through it, okay? Because it is nasty in there. So we're going to want to wash that out, a little acid, all right? Be back in a bit. Okay, guys, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take some of this stuff, which is a rust reformer type acid. We don't need much. We're just going to put a little bit of that in there. Then we're going to put a little bit of water, just a little bit. All right, and since we're here, this is a little stronger, so this is a spray. And that's more than enough. Then we'll close the cap. Okay. And we're going to shake it. And I'm going to go set my timer. All right. Generally, about 15, 20. There's no real rust in here. It's oxidation. As I feel like it's still got junk in it. So I'm going to rinse it through one more time. I just don't want that junk to be stuck in here. So we're going to do the gas wash one more time. And then we'll blow it again. So I took it outside in the yard. I didn't use the pressure washer. I just put on some of that old gas that I collect, and this way I can loosen up the grease and the yuck. I took a few more things off, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm thinking I'm going to paint it. If you left it like this, it looks cool, but I noticed that customers, you know, I want to sell it, so you can only get so much for this, but it's not new, but it's in good shape. And I think if I just give it a coat of paint, fix it up a little bit more like I'm doing, the motor's going to get a little bit more paint on it. That's easy. Nothing fancy. I think it'd be, you know, it's something that's worth more, but it's easier to sell. Let's give it another coat. Just another coat, just a little bit more. That was some kind of green. This was black. So that's good enough, right? Like I said, it's just to clean it up, make it resist dirt a little. All right, we'll be back. I got about as stripped down as about as far as I want it. It's clean. It's taped. I mean, this stuff is real heavy. You know, it's very heavy. It's not like doing body work, but it's very hard to bend. A little bit this way. We'll try to. Yeah, that's helping. Yeah, it's definitely helping. Just pull it up a little, just so it's not so obvious, and then we'll bend it and bang it a little. And yeah, that's better. Once you come back. Oh yeah. That's much better. Now here it's got a crease, so you can't do much. That's better. So this is the paint I'm going to be using, Instacoat. This is really old. It's been around forever. I bought this when I was a young man. But it's white. And we're going to spray. We're going to add a little bit of black to it. We're going to make a gray. And maybe I'll go with a darker gray. We'll see. All right, we're going to add some Rust-Oleum to it and see how it comes out. Okay, so once again, more junk. I picked some more stuff out with my pliers. Now, let's mix up some paint. I'll stir it. It's an older can of Rust-Oleum black. All right, so let's try pouring a little in. And let's see what we get. It doesn't take much to make gray. Yellow and blue. Let's see. And gray is coming up pretty quick. Oh, that's a good color gray. What do you think, guys? I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it's enough for one coat. Oh yeah, that's a nice dark gray. Let me clean up, and I'm going to add some thinner to that. We're going to go with a simple lacquer thinner setup so that this stuff dries fast. Now you can use mineral spirits. It'll just take a lot longer. And like I said, I had bought this activator to make it harden quicker, and I don't think it ever came in. Oh, I just want to get one coat. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. This is nice. I'll get the undercoat to make it perfect. But a good solid coat. Oh yeah, that's coming out good. I don't even know if we need a second coat, but it's a good idea. A light second coat. All right, I moved it over and I got underneath, and I'll show you in a little bit. And so I'm going to go get ready, and I got to get out of here for a little bit. But I think by the time I come back, this will be dry. I got to leave a little bit of paint in the gun. That's not good, but we'll get it out. And I'll sort of rinse the gun out and put some thinners in it, and we'll touch up whatever I missed. But this will be dry by the time I come back, and we can continue to work forward. Let me take the tape off, and we'll do a quick walkthrough. It's dry. I'm leaving a little bit what's left in the gun for now. All right, just a quick coat, color wash. All right, orange. A little bit lighter than it was. I think it'll go good with the gray and the black. All right, and let's find out what happens. We'll be back in a minute. Just the carb. I'm gonna clean it and clean it. It's in pretty good shape. It's just got some dirt on it. Let's give it a wash. Right, see this? That's just it right there. But I think I have some fresh line we can use. You know, get some good fresh line on it. Let's do a line. There's nothing wrong with it, really. Shouldn't be. These kinds of carbs, you often, all you have to do is just pull that bottom seat all out and spray in there. And you know, these carbs are great. This is like the best type. This kind of adjustment just never gets old. It's just always easy to tweak it. A little bit of junk. A little bit. Just be a simple thing, no? It's just there's some junk on it. It too. Get them good and clean. Yeah, see? And there's just a little bit of junk. A little junk there. Just blow it out and get it in some acid. Quick soak with lacquer thinner to get off any varnish. And then we'll hit it with acid. Just a quick soak. And that's all you got, just some junk down there in the bottom. And it lays mostly out of the way. So we're going to wash this. We'll clean this in lacquer thinner. In fact, we're not even going to disrupt this. We're just going to clean this with a little Caro. How nice that is. And then we want to take, there's a jet in there. Let's run that through. We want to get those out. Well, we want to get this in. We need to start getting it wet. A little lacquer thinner, but we'll get all the other stuff out next. Let's just tickle it. There's nothing in here. Look at that. Just, it shines up right away. You don't even need the acid, but we'll put a little on that. I want to try to keep these together. Okay. There's your gasket. Lacquer thinner works the best to remove the overburden. Alright, then we'll just give it a quick blow, and I'm going to put a little acid in this just to remove any of the junk that's in there. It's a Lumabrite, so. Alright, cut it out. Let's do. Alright, a little bit of acid on this. Just a little bit, because we just want to get the junk off. Look, you know, if you leave it sit, it'll come perfect. You know, it's like using Brasso or something. There you go. A lot of junk came off. Because you don't want anything getting loose. If you can help it, because it'll just be very small, granular. That's it. Look how clean that is. It's perfect. Right, I'm going to wipe it out with another towel. Nice. Yeah, see, it's getting out. It's like it's in the aluminum. We're golden. All right, so for the first thing we want to do is we want to get this back together again here. So we need a pin, and we're just going to put a little bit of, you know, this is 2-stroke with the tranny in it. Get it all over, you know, get it lubed up, and it'll help the gasket. That's it. Now, okay, should be parallel, which it is. Now, only goes on one direction, and you can see. I like to put it together this way, okay? And put a little more lubricant on your screws. No, we don't want any issues. This goes together for such a nice, simple carb. And just, you can really dial it in. It's perfect. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Downdraft style. Carbs up nice and high. Good flow. Can leak out the bottom out of the way without going into the engine. That's what this is for, this sintered bronze thing. Also, it'll leak through here a little bit. Not much though. All right, we're golden. This goes in next. So we want to make sure you have good lubricant on those threads. And let me see the other screwdriver that I have. I just want to see, I think it fits better. You want a good fitting driver. Up to a point it fits, and then it starts to hit. So we'll finish it up with this guy. That's perfect. Then this one goes in, and there's a washer right here, but it's still stuck. It's a seat type gasket thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then you get your O-ring. Oh, and there is, look how nice and clean that is. It's a spring, then the washer, because the washer pushes down on the O-ring. We're going to go into it, stops, and pull it out 2 turns. Actually, we'll do 1.5-ish. This guy, right, goes over here. There's your idle. Pulls about 1.5 too. It'll probably come out to more like 2, but let's start with 1.5. All right, and it all gets sandwiched in, and then your gasket. All right, so we're gonna go put it on. What do you think, guys? We'll be back in a bit.
5 minutes later.
All right, I'm gonna take the coil off and clean the magnet, but I have everything else on the table. See all the junk over there? There's all these parts there. We're gonna start putting those on. Let me get the magneto off and set the magneto up, because that's important, right? Make sure that's clean and fresh.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're just gonna clean it up, because I don't remember when I put it on. This is a conversion. So we're gonna get all the surfaces cleaned up so that it's good ground and everything. We'll get the magnet clean. We'll re-gap it properly and tighten it. Yeah, just to make sure that you have good grounds, you know, good connection points. You know, that's all I'm doing on this. Especially when it's been sitting out and I acid cleaned in there and I rinsed everything out with my oily gas solvent. So you get a little oil on the rubber too, which is good, because these things get dry fast. Get all the dirt off. You know, these are rusty, so you want to lube them up good. All right, get the bosses cleaned out. Make sure these got oil on them. They're dry, they'll get stuck in there. We're going to just polish the magnet. Okay, I'm going to tighten it. 10 thousandths. Then we'll connect it. 1/4-inch drive is the best thing to use. Don't over tighten it. This is the fuel tank bracket. And it goes like this. And I want to make sure those bolts are lubricated. I put these together so they actually have a little bit of no seas on them still. Check all of them. Okay, now we're ready for the side cover. And we're going to put a little oil in it, which we'll do in a minute. Okay, nice, right? You can see it, spot with a spring, back here and in there. And then give it a few pulls. Then hair dry it is. We're going to want to put more in. Let's get a fuel line on it. All right, this is on, fuel tank's on. We need one more fuel line and a filter, a filter. So, let me set you up. Let's put the belt on, guys. Some of it will go in, a lot of it won't. But we can make the effort. This one, you just thread it, a couple of threads. Clean. All right, looks good like that. Doesn't this thing look good? And it'll run good too, because we've gone through everything. It looks good, guys. I actually was able to reuse the old fuel line because it was in good shape. It just had a little bit of wear on the one end, so I just cut off the areas that were bad. This looks good. We'll get some lubricant on this too later on, after we touch up the paint and stuff. Here's the plug. I'm going to go clean it up. Let's get it nice and clean. We'll put it in. We'll get some fuel in it, and we'll get this thing started. Looks good. 30,000, 31, 32, and I put my my anti-sneeze on it. It's not in bad shape. So we're just going to put a grinder to it.
Yeah, I feel like you want to.
Some are a little bit more rounded over, but we'll just put a grinder to it. Okay, we got everything sharpened up. So let's just start off with blowing out the area a little bit. Not bad, actually. Really isn't. Or two-stroke. All right, and just wipe it down. And we'll put a little oil on it too. I'm just going to take our rag. A little bit up in here. Just get that seal sweetened up, and then we'll draw a little line with some motor oil. And just clean that shaft up a little. We're going to find the hole. Hole's back here. Sharp now. Now these can go one of two ways. They can come in for a smaller cut, like this, right? That way you get a much smaller cut, and it's a different kind of cut. Or you can go wider and see all the junk. That's why I like to just clean it. And we're going to go this way. And you just don't want the junk to build up on this, so you can get it on and off. Good cleaning. And if you want, if you're going to store it, you could clean it, take it apart, oil it up, wipe it down, slap it back together again, and you can store it like that for a long time. So we're going to take this side off next, sharpen it up. These are pretty sharp. I'm sharpening from the top of the blade. This is the part that runs into the dirt and along the ground, and it tends to get rolled over. Now some guys will sharpen that. I don't recommend it because you're going to wear the blade more. Let it roll. It is what it is. Okay, sharpen the upper part, the part that's kind of out of the dirt a little more, and it'll stay sharper longer. We're good there. Let's get our cleaner on that. And here, we can put a little bit of the oil on it, make a sauce, some gravy. All right, we're just gonna roll it around. It's freshened up, and you can say, you know, if I was to say, if it ain't fixed, it's probably broke. You don't put your hands on it, all right? How are you going to know? And so the customer needs to know. Alright, so this one goes here. Yeah, see how much nicer it goes on? Now we can finish it. See? Goes on nice now. It's not going to get locked up on the guy. Because if you don't do it, right, then what's going to happen is you're going to say, oh, I fixed everything, I serviced it, fully serviced. Is it really fully serviced? Because you're not doing this. And the guy goes to, oh, it's adjustable. Oh, now he can't get it off. And he's going to be like, he said he did everything. What's wrong? This guy lied. Yeah, well, pretty much. So the next owner is going to get something that is properly serviced. If it ain't fixed, it's probably broke. Well, we're going to go around and lube everything now, right, before we gas it. A little lube down in here. Just a little. Any area that's going to get, for now at least, we'll put a little bit on that shaft. Put a little lube over here, down in that area, and a little on this pin here. Okay. That's clean oil. Yeah, it doesn't need anything. Okay, gas is in it. Let's give it a shot. Well, it wants to run. Oh, that's happened before. That's the keys. That's the okay. Supposedly the choke is on. Let's put a little more fuel in it. Choke on. Alright, so it does run a little lean, but after tweaking and tuning it, you saw the thumbs up, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to push it one direction or the other. You get two settings. You get the one on the bottom you saw, and that's high. So there's a very discrete area there where it will either puff out smoke, or it'll run too lean, or it won't come up, or it'll balancing those two out. I did let it warm up good, so balancing those two out, I think it's pretty decent. It's running real good, and the nice thing is you can lean over and adjust it anytime you want. Okay, and if you know what you're doing, you get the hang of it. You don't want to go too far. It's very easy to kind of go too far. So here we got a nice label, so we'll put that label back where the owner can see it, or over this way, right, where all the other labels are. And we could put a little clear on that. Let's put that down. So it's all ready to go. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put its feet on. I figure we'll just rinse those off real quick, and I'm going to oil them. I'm going to spritz oil them, and they'll look real good. And then we'll put them on, and that'll make. Then I can touch up the few areas that I scratched, and I got to get the paint out of my gun. So that's these. We're going to take them outside and give them a quick bath, and I'm going to oil them so they look good. And if you can see them, they're real naggy. Right, so get them cleaned up real fast, oil them, and they'll look good, and also that'll stabilize the rubber for the next person. So let me go put my boots on, and I'll be back. A quick rinse with some cleaners, and just take a rag, a junk rag, whatever we got, and throw it all out. And this is just some gas with oil in it. Not a very good container. You don't need much. Be nice if I could. And when I first put it, I need to get some good chemical sprayers. Yeah, get rid of this guy. Let's get as much on as you can. It'd be better if it was working right. Wouldn't be struggling so. And this will help the rubber, and it'll look good. It won't look so shiny in a little while. You know, within an hour, it'll soak in. It's an old trick that, you know, people that had tractors back in the day, they changed their oil in their tractors, you know, farmer thing. And they would take their oil and they would use it for lubrication, and this is one of the things they would do because it would help protect the rubber. Yeah, any area that you see. And also really good for trying to see the bead. Done. All right, let me wipe up.
Later that same evening.
Okay guys, I sprayed up a little bit of paint that I had in the spray gun, which I left for 2 days or whatever it's been, all night last night, but that's okay. So I cleaned out the gun a little bit. All right, and now we have, this is 2K clear, and I like to use it in the areas where you're going to spill gas. So first we're going to just put a little bit of 2K here on the stickers. All right, anywhere it's on a sticker. I like to make sure the stickers are all sprayed. It's good. Now I can put a little bit more thinner in this gun. I'm just going to drop a little bit more in, piss it through, and now I'm going to go grab some food. When I come back out, we'll bring. I'll clean my gun real good. We'll bring this thing out for pictures. So I'll probably bring it out for pictures, run it, show you, demonstrate the tines running. We'll make sure that's going. And that's it. We'll get some pictures on it, and this thing, it's done. Isn't that nice? All right, we'll be back in a bit. All right, let's just do a little walkthrough, and we'll start it. All right, looks better with the clear on the stickers, and it protects it. It's a little tacky, but it's 2K, so there's a hardener in it. It'll be a little while. Even out in the sun, it'll harden real fast. All right, let's just give it a quick start. Okay, I need to put more gas in it. Because like I said, you need to have a full tank. So I'll have to probably fill it up a little bit more because it won't run right. Just the way the design is. Now when you have the tires off of it, it's not as bad. So all right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Another one of Uncle Arch's projects, and we got a nice restored or refurbished tiller. And like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. We'll have something else for you soon.